Chinese dissidents living in a state as politically important as Florida, do you think we'd have a trade policy with China that looks more like the trade policy with Cuba?
Not if they were not 90 miles off our shore. This is an important doctrine of the United States to make sure that our hemisphere and those who are close to us are folks that we can and should deal with. And right now we have and have had for 50 years a dictatorship in Cuba. We've had sanctions on them. They should continue. They should continue until the Castros are dead, and then we should make it very clear that if you want mountains of aid, if you want normal relationships, if you want to improve your economy, if you want to have the opportunity for freedom, that the United States stands ready now to embrace you now that you've gotten rid of these tyrants who have controlled you for these 50-plus years. That's why the sanctions have to stay in place, because we need to have a very solid offer to come forward and help the Cuban people. And you're right, Ron, it's not 1962. They're now, with the Cubans and the Venezuelans, the Nicaraguans, there is a growing network of folks now working with the jihadists, the Iranians, who are very, very excited about the opportunity to having platforms 90 miles off our coast, just like the Soviets were. Very anxious to have platforms 90 miles off our coast, or in Venezuela, or in Nicaragua, and other places that could come across the southern border. This is a serious threat. It's a threat that I've been talking about for about 6 or 7 years, and it's one that's not going to go away until we confront the threat and hopefully are able to convince the Cuban people that, through what Newt and others have suggested, to change their government at the appropriate time.
Governor Romney, last night, the Abe Lincoln, U.S. aircraft